Destiny and Tiger King debate was good. No, I don't care about that, dude. All that's left for him is to go crazy and kill somebody. All that's left in the arc for Destiny, in the content slop trough, is for Destiny to go crazy and like shave his head or kill himself or kill somebody or, you know, stream naked or run naked around the streets. That's really the only thing we're looking for here from this man. The only remaining content that's of any use to us. The only remaining content for him that's interesting is him mental breakdown. Pure mental breakdown, complete collapse. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we want. Anything else will be a disappointment. Healing children naturally. Let's find out what Michael Savage has to say.
Such as
I love Michael Savage.
Peanut Butter, 1976, if you can believe it. And then some other books, which I'm not going to discuss in detail today. This is a very important topic, especially after Joe Biden's cleared
Michael
dementia. Weiner. This book was published in 1982. It set off a shockwave, and it was published in 6 languages. This, of course, is my greatest work of all and the least understood.
Ooh.
It took me years of work in the tropics on this one.
Dude, he's so awesome.
The granddaddy of them all, 1972. I remember working until 2 in the morning when I had a young child. Coming home late at night, I was pouring my mind into this one. But let's talk for a moment about healing children naturally, because that's the subject of the day. As a result, RFK Jr. is throwing his hat in the ring, so to speak, by quitting the race and joining the race. And he awakened America to the fact that 25 to 30% of young adults now have prediabetes. Almost didn't exist in my time, nor in his childhood. He was born in 1954, I believe. I was born in 1942.
Dude, I saw that already.
And
why are you sending me a black woman falling off cracking her head?
It was almost unheard of for a child to have prediabetes. 25 to 30% of young adults now have prediabetes. 50% of young adults now are obese or overweight. Okay. 20% of teens have fatty liver disease.
It's because of black people, dude.
20% of teens now qualify as having a
It's because of black people, bro.
Do you think this happened by accident?
No, it came through immigration.
Now, the reason
Mexicans and black people are fat and unhealthy.
Who is a host on Newsmax TV.
Mexicans and black people are fat and unhealthy and have like mental problems. What am I going to say, dude? That's why there's so many.
Host, wonderful man, had me on WABC today. Many of you listened to it. And Greg and I got along great because
that's true. What if that happens, Suspita?
You know, real men are not competitive with men who have something to say. So he let me talk. He asked me questions I didn't have time to answer. But how did Americans become the sickest people on earth? How
blaming it on non-whites is such hope? It's really not, dude.
Chronic. Well,
it's really not. It's like I'm healthy, coughing up phlegm and blood. People I know are healthy. I don't know.
Years ago,
maybe if you're in the gutter,
1% of adults and children suffer from chronic health diseases. Now it's 66%. Do you realize what this is?
White people are more fat and with more mental issues. They are not. That's cope, dude. That's just cope. Black people have like, 95% of them are fat. 95% of all black people are fat.
A norm when in fact, it's not a norm. It's an illness. In Japan, the obesity rate is 3%. In America, it's 50%. Pre-diabetes, diabetes. Why is this not in the news? It's simple. The news is controlled by the advertising, as is television, as is radio. And almost all the ads, as you can see with your own eyes, are for toxic drugs. How many times have I told you I cannot believe when I watch cable news, every other ad is for chronic, like Ozempic or Schmempic. I'm not picking on one drug. I never heard of such things as this. It's impossible. Instead of teaching people that food is the best medicine. I mean, we all know about, exercise. Many of you are gym rats and are following fairly good diets.
Dr. Savage.
Led into believing that the latest iteration of a diet is, the caveman diet. It's all stupidity. These are ignoramuses pushing an idea that will wind up with massive amounts of kidney disease in time. I don't want to talk about the caveman diet right now, because it's another stupid hula hoop of an idea. People don't even understand what they're talking about. The kidneys are what break down proteins. So if you're going to eat an all meat or meat and poultry and eggs and nothing else, you'll probably die of kidney disease by the time you're 50.
Rog Nationalist destroyed.
Let me back up a bit. I've been at this a very long time, and I
Y'all got any Hawk Tua, Talk Tua? Nice, Jeffy. Very nice.
Books. And believe me, I put my life and soul into those herbal books and homeopathy and health books. My whole life was involved. Then I got into radio in 1994. And by the time I was finished with radio, which is almost 27 years later, I was not that interested in the health field anymore. But now I am very interested in the health field. It may be my greatest legacy. And let me remind you of something else. Long after this election is over and the talking heads in the media have nothing left to say to you, let's say, God forbid, Harris wins, and there's a good chance she will, God forbid. Tell me what all the conservatives are going to talk about, how bad she is for 4 years? That's what you want to listen to for 4 straight years of how bad her policies are? We know how bad her policies are. We know how bad the Democrats are. They're going to be out of business. So what I'm trying to tell you is that a far more important subject is health, particularly our children's health, because an entire generation has been sacrificed on the altar of big pharma, and I should say big food, or however you want to call it.
So is Haas just retarded? It's like, is Haas just like a retarded person? Yes. That was called a rhetorical question. That was kind of a rhetorical flourish where you ask a question everybody knows the answer to, for the making a point. But the point is just my thoughts in my head. Oz is like retarded.
To the beginning. And Healing Children Naturally, it's not available for sale. I'm not selling you a book right now. But when I brought this back up in the last day because of Kennedy, several publishers have asked me, can they republish the book? And I will be doing so, I hope, in the near future. I will be doing so in the near future. But I want to start with the opening quote to Healing Children Naturally right here. This is what I wrote when I wrote this book in 1982. Just as the undrawn sword is the mark of the best swordsman, so too is the best physician, one who relies least on synthetic drugs. As a nutritionist by training, I have not had to overcome an inherent bias in favor of prescription drugs. Food has always seemed the best medicine to me, especially as a preventive practice. That was the opening of the book. The second paragraph, I think, is also worth quoting. There is a tendency today for once drug-oriented physicians to proselytize about nutrition while recommending highly questionable glandular extracts and drug-sized doses of vitamins and minerals.
Thank you for that,
These new converts seem
Gerald, what happened to your original account?
Nutrition also means food. Also means food. In my program of preventive dietetics, food is first, with minor vitamin and mineral supplementation as an adjunct. I'll go into that at another time. And in cases of minor illness, I wrote, we recommend modified diets in conjunction with herbal teas. And I included special diets in this book. I was very fortunate when I was writing this book to have come upon an organization, and I don't know if it still exists, up in the lower Sierra Nevada, which had diets, and I included them in the book. I think it was the Weimar Institute. I'm pretty sure of that. And I have diets in here for various illnesses that are pretty amazing, that they were treating people with these diets in their clinics, in their institute here. Natural approaches for natural complaints: acne, allergy, appendicitis, asthma, celiac disease, colds, colic, colitis.
Yeah, the only medicine I need is marijuana.
Cough. And
that's the only medicine I need, marijuana. What do you think about that, Dr. Savage?
And I remember when I first wrote it, how I was so in love with it because I had a young child, two young children at the time.
Paul has a diamond-shaped face.
That's because I'm rich. It out for them as well as for myself.
If you crack my skull open, you'll find a diamond inside of it.
For prevention. But there were also diets for prospective parents. I want to talk about that as well today because many young women are giving birth. First of all, a lot of people can't have children. Let me start with infertility and what infertility has to do with diet and nutrition and lifestyles to begin with. That's the first thing I want to talk about. Maybe I can't get to all of it today. Now, remember, my program is centrist. It's not extremist at all. Okay? These are important points in this time of hypermedication and people losing all concept of diet and nutrition and thinking only exercise and drugs will do it for them. So I talk about diet to improve fertility in men. Semen counts can be improved with various vitamins.
Let's talk about that.
Talk about women.
Let's talk about that.
Good advice.
Talk about some zinc.
And now
these books are kind of
happening
stupid though, because it's like nowadays, if you're smart, you can just research this stuff yourself and figure it out in like a week.
It can be treated almost in days with the right diet and nutrition instead of drugging them to death and putting them on antidepressants. It's a nightmare. You know, there's an old idea of the fetus as a parasite, believe it or not, that came back because of the false notions that children shouldn't even be in the mother's body. So the fetus.
Stop threatening each other in the kick chat. It was funny, but now I'm growing tired.
How many years
Either
ago?
Put up or shut up.
Medical schools taught that since the growth.
It was amusing,
was merely a
but you've grown. You've made my patience grow thin here.
Believe that, regardless of the mother's.
Paul, do you have any startup
status,
ideas?
We all know that this is.
Not really. No, not really. I don't really believe in startups because they're kind of risque. I don't really believe in startups. It's like you look at all like the. Tech's gay, okay? Tech is like stupid and gay, and it's like I can't stand these people. Because really, like technology should be like a very small thing. Technology should be like a shovel. You use something for a specific purpose, and that's that. It shouldn't be some big, because everybody talks about startups. They talk about like this for this, this for this, this for this, and it's like I have a middleman cut. I wish you could go back to the days of freeware and shareware, where it was like you download from Nursoft. You go to Nursoft and you download like an image burning tool or on a CD, an ISO burning tool, and you download something to download YouTube videos, and it's just a single program. That's like peak software. When people would make little tools for little things, or like GIMP, or Inkscape, or Blender. That stuff. Well, Blender's different. Blender's like a huge thing now, but. Really, software is very limited in what it should do. It should be very simple, and it should just make your life a little better. Like BlueJay. BlueJay.page, sign up today, pay for premium, give me your money and your credit card. But, that sort of, it should solve a problem and get out of the way, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But why not profit off of it? Well, because it's like, it feels like I have, okay, so BlueJay is a good example. Like I have a good, I'm making some money off of it, off of like premium usage. But I don't like the idea of like, once you start like selling a product to use, like a consumer product, it's kind of like consumer. I like stuff that I'm kind of like a hippie. I like the stuff where it's like you use it for what its purpose is and you're done with it. Whereas people try to crack people out. Like it's like Uber sending you a notification. Here's $5 off your next ride. Uber Eats 2 weeks free if you sign up again. Postmates, notification, the weekend special. I don't like that. I don't like where it's like bugging you. I like where it's like you buy something, you pay for something. Now, BlueJay is different because it is subscription, but I'm not hassling people. It's just kind of a tool for people to use as much as they want to use it. And it's not supposed to be like cracking people out and making them like, oh, I gotta click. It's like it should be, your life should be a serene pond. And you use it because you're in a serene pond floating along the lazy river in the serene pond, and you're just floating along. And as a result, at certain times, you're like, ooh, I need to use this. So you use this. Then you put it down, and you use something else. Ooh, I need to use this. I use this. I put it down. It's not like you're like in a club, and you're like trying to get laid, and so you're bumping into people's shoulders, and you're yelling in a girl's ear, and bumping into a different girl and buying a girl a drink. It's like I don't like the club atmosphere like the software is now. Software is like a club atmosphere where it's like you enter this and they're trying to sell you things, and everything's screaming at you, yelling at you, bright colors, emailing you, notifying you, tweeting at you, doing promotions, all that stuff. I don't like that. I like the idea of like you're sitting in a dojo, you're sitting in a Japanese house, legs crossed. You want a pot of tea? You lean forward, you pour a little cup of tea, go put the cup of tea down, sit back down. There's, J-pop music from the 80s playing softly in the background. Your girlfriend's walking around in a kimono. There's flowers everywhere. There's koi fish in the pond. It's at peace. That's my vision of technology. It's more like, oh, I want some tea. I'll have a little cup of tea. Put the tea down. The pot of tea is still there. I don't need it right now. And that's relaxing. I don't like the idea of like loud, bright lights, loud music, thumping bass, people bumping in your shoulders, sweat, women everywhere, men everywhere, lights flashing,
Untrue. Because if the mother is not adequately nourished, the chances for maldevelopment of the child are great, particularly the chances for development of an underweight child.
Do you know Pieter Levels, founder of PhotoAI.com? He was in an interview with Lex Friedman. He's cool. He makes useful AI tools, puts a paywall behind landing pages, and juices SEO, makes 70K MRR from Photo AI. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, good for him. That's not my vibe, though. I'm not I don't like that. I like doing things on a regular, habitual, like calm, predictable basis. I feel like all the chaos should be with my finances. They should all the chaos in my life is like it should be whether crypto goes up or down, and it should be whether or not my crap coins go up or down, and it shouldn't be in result to like what I do. I shouldn't feel like hassled. I shouldn't feel like I'm. I think there's different personality types. I think that's really what it is. I think my personality type is more like you do what you gotta do, and then in the free time you have some fun. But do what you need to do in a respectable, quiet, responsible way. And that's when I'm the most happy. When I can achieve that, when I can do what I need to do, get it done. You know what I mean? So I think some people, they're more gophers. And if you're a gopher, like you're like a servant boy running back and forth, like that guy, you're built to be a slave. You're built to be like on a little bike riding around, doing little errands. And that's good. That's fine. And I think people are suited for this environment. Those types of people are suited very well to make a lot of money. But I'm not that sort of person. I'm like a townsperson. I live in a town and I do XYZ thing. And that's my life. You know what I mean?
Child or a child with serious neurological.
I don't want to be riding a bike around town. I want to have a little shop in town. You know what I mean? I'm not the type to be like the hustler riding around town on a bike, delivering things, making deals, do all that stuff. That's not my vibe. My vibe is having a little shop where people enjoy the time. I'm a little Japanese man with a little butcher shop, and I sell sake too.
Actual handicaps. There is also danger for the mother who is not properly nourished during pregnancy.
Wow, we missed a lot of that.
Or
all right, skip forward.
I never saw ASD. I never saw Asperger's or autism in children. In the year 2000, the autism rate was 1 in 1,500. Now, autism rates in kids are 1 in 36. Did you hear that? According to the Centers for Disease Control, if you want to call them that. How is it that 1 in every 22 kids in California has autism? And that 77% of our kids are too disabled to serve in the United States military. Can you believe this?
How the goyim are not going to die for us.
It's not a subject for everybody. Well, maybe it will be now that Kennedy has come along and taught us that in California,
they're too sick to die for us.
Kids, 1 in 22 kids, 1 in 22 kids. How did this happen? How is this possible? How is it happening? How could so many children be sick?
Because we're selling them poison to make food, dude, to make money, to make bank. We're poisoning people to make bank, dude.
Diet and health. Sometimes I go to a local cafe or a local market, particularly after 3 o'clock when the kids come home from school. So I just like to hear the sound of the children. I used to be a teacher. I love to hear their voices. It's a cheerful thing to hear young children, how happy they are. And I see what the kids are eating. They're buying junk food, potato chips.
Shame for
Danishes, pastries, chocolatey stuff. I don't get mad. I don't walk over like a lunatic and talk to them. I don't say a word. But there are no parents trying to say to them, don't eat that poison. It'll get
Destiny's doing J6 research. You know what's good is hot fries, dude.
On it.
I want some hot fries.
His fathers were raised eating this stuff.
Perhaps when I'm done streaming tonight, I'll purchase some hot fries.
If a kid is 10 or 13 years old, so the mother
Danishes are good.
35.
I do love Danishes.
40.
Nice
they were
coffee with
raised
the
on same
Danish.
junk diets, so the parents don't know any better. So you have to go back to the elders of the tribe,
Chester's
like
hot
Michael
fries.
Savage, who, by some miracle, I'm still alive. It's not
Hot
really
Cheeto
by
hot fries is
accident.
good too. Hot
I
Cheeto.
watched my diet very
I can't do that though because I got
carefully.
to
was a
work out
fanatic.
tomorrow.
When my kids were young, I was really very difficult in the house because I wouldn't let an ounce of sugar pass on my table. Not one. I mean, it was a little too much. I understand that. But I was obsessed with sugars. I was obsessed with colorings in foods.
That's true. The
We ate
coloring's
a lot of
crazy.
health foods. We watched ourselves, and yeah, we go over the bridge to Chinese restaurants and eat Chinese
Croissant?
crack once in a while.
Say
Kids like that
croissant?
more than anything.
It's croissant.
And I wasn't overly strict. We were not vegans. We were not vegetarians
Croissant.
because I knew the children needed a high amount of protein for their brains to develop. And it was very interesting when my kids were young to see what went on. If we had families over who were vegetarians, they called it then, and we were not, and we'd have mixed foods on the table like salad, vegetables, and let's say there was also some chicken. It wouldn't be deep fried chicken. It would be probably roasted chicken. And we cut it up in a platter and put it on a table. And there were,
Wendy's
let's
maple
say,
bacon
animal
chicken
proteins
croissant.
in addition to the vegetables. The vegetarian kids, their eyes would go crazy for the protein, and they reach for it, much to their mother's admonitions of don't eat that food, because the kids needed it. They were screaming for it. And our kids ate it. That's why my kids are smart. They were never mentally deprived of the amino acids.
What's up,
necessary
Groper? How you
for
doing?
the development of a healthy brain. So, you could observe from your children themselves, but you have to control them. Children don't know what to eat. They don't know what to eat.
Yeah, you got to make them eat.
They
Chester's
will tend
hot
to gravitate
fries.
towards the junk
Chester's
food,
hot
the potato
fries.
chips, and the sweets, as you well know. That's just something kids do. But I would wager a guess that most of you would not let your dog eat the food that you feed your children.
Yeah, because it's for
I
my
would
kids,
wager
not
a
my
bet that
dog.
most women in America today feed their dogs better than they feed their children.
That's probably true.
I would wage a guess that most women listening, well, not listening to me, but most women in America today feed their cats better than they would feed their child, if they have a child. And I'm not here to knock girls who don't have children. I mean, we have gone to the dogs. The saddest thing on earth today is to see a young, beautiful girl pushing a baby carriage with a dog in it.
Ooh.
If we haven't died as a society, I'd like to know what symbolizes it better than a young girl pushing a baby carriage with a dog in it.
Ooh.
Or two dogs in it. It's unbelievable. But that's for them to deal with, not me. So as I say, diet first, food first. But let's look at the first paragraph of this book. I'm not going to do the whole book with you today. I'm just telling you I want to talk about it. I've been with you about 25 minutes, and I'm going to not be here much longer on this particular subject. When the book comes out, I'll come back on the air and I'll tell you how to
Sonic
buy it.
3
You can't
trailer?
buy it now, except maybe as a used book. Listen to this carefully. This is the first paragraph of the book about cancer. Cancer. Do I get your attention yet?
No, I don't care about it.
Cancer, a leading cause of children's death.
Sonic 3
One of the
trailer?
most
Let's see.
Suppressed statistic.
Ooh, let's watch this actually instead. No offense, Dr. Savage, but I want to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here
Yeah, in my lungs.
or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything
That's me.
we've ever encountered.
I'm Project Shadow.
Shadow's story.
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
Your Sonic, but where you found family and friends,
Yeah, this doesn't look as fun.
Shadow found only pain and loss.
All right, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find
Finally, a superhero that I relate to.
Fireball?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Start with a giant fireball.
I'm like Shadow the Hedgehog.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
Classic. I love when they pull the music away for the laugh line. That's a classic one. That always gets my 90 IQ ass laughing and laughing.
A colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Then boom.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no!
You just know my 90 IQ ass is laughing at that in the movie theater.
My turn. Can we just talk about this?
I am rolling on the floor, laughing and peeing. This is going to be a hit. You can tell from my chat. My chat is like the best test audience for this. You can tell it's going to be a big hit.
He's too powerful. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor,
We have visitors.
this is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
I give you AIDS. On one condition, I give you AIDS.
If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it. I need room. But, sir, I
Potty humor. I already know I'm going to love this potty humor.
proper materials. Found some.
This trailer is basically the whole movie, huh? Yep, it's epic.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code!
What did you do? What I had to. Welcome
Mid.
home, my boy. It's impossible. Is it? It couldn't be. Couldn't it? Are you? In the saggy flesh.
Mid. Didn't hit. Nope. Sorry. This 30-year-old man thinks he's little. This is too facetious, too childish. This 30-year-old man is not impressed by the Sonic 3 trailer. I'm sorry. This 30-year-old man, not too excited about the Sonic trailer.
Abe
Mission
Hoffa,
failed.
another great man. Those of you who have been around long enough to know these names. These were the giants. But what happened was they were all preaching how to heal yourself with foods.
This
and
30-year-old man
nutrition
thinks this movie's
and
not going to be for him.
nutrients, rather than with Big Pharma. And as a result, Big Pharma started spending a fortune trying to prove all of their studies to be false. Do you understand how it worked? Just as they've been trying to submit us to the big lie about politics, that we're all wrong about their oppression of our freedoms, they were doing it about food at that time. So I watched it happen. And they started putting out false studies about vitamin C, false studies about vitamin E, false studies about everything that was good and cheap. And that's what Big Pharma did. And they appeared as news stories, just as political stories today appear, which are, quote, objective news stories, when they're nothing but propaganda placed by the Democrat Socialist Party of America. So some things, what was it, Dr. Ben? No, it was not Dover. It was Ben somebody. It was a Jewish doctor with a Jewish last name, an Eastern European Jewish name. I don't remember his name. I can find it in two minutes. If you don't know it, please, it wasn't Dr. Spock. No, it wasn't Dr. Spock. So, folks, I'm giving you a little background to all of this. And I can't remember his name. It was Dr. Ben Feingold. Ben Feingold. See, my memory didn't fail me. I haven't thought of him in 30 years. Dr. Ben Feingold wrote a study. He had conducted a small study, clinical study.
What does he do? Oh, he sells fine gold.
Children at Kaiser in Oakland.
He's made of fine gold.
When he took the kids off sugar, their hyperactivity syndrome disappeared completely. That's what it was. So when the Feingold diet came along, a lot of mothers followed it, and they cut sugar out of the diets of the kids, and the kids got better. They weren't exhibiting hyperactivity syndrome. And then the Big Pharma started going crazy with, you got
Dr.
ADD,
Feingold.
ADHD, you need Ritalin. That's what they're putting them on.
Jacked.
Then they're putting kids on,
Ooh, yeah. That's what I'm
Adderall.
talking
You know how many
about.
kids are stoned on Adderall today? What percent of it? Teenagers are on it. Do you realize what happens after a
Yep.
child is put on
Boxing going
Ritalin or
well.
Adderall in their formative years, their brain starts to need speed. And so what do they do when they become teenagers? You can't figure it out? They become addicted to speed, cocaine, amphetamines, etc. They become drug addicts. It's all connected to how they're formed when they're young and their brains are being formed. So what I'm telling you is very important for you and for your children.
Thanks, great sex.
And again, healing children naturally is a great gift to humanity.
Thanks, buddy.
And I hope to reissue it shortly. When I say shortly, it's not going to be tomorrow. But I remember why I wrote the book, because it was in that first paragraph that I read to you before. I just want to go back to it for a minute. The cancer, a leading cause of children's death, including leukemia. One of the most suppressed statistics is that more children under the age of 15 die of cancer, including leukemia, than of any other cause aside from accidents. This scared me to death when I had a young child. What is a parent's greatest fear? Is a child's going to
The boogeyman.
get sick or die?
Krampus.
And if you've seen children suffering from leukemia in the wards of hospitals, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's a horrible thing to see.
Dude, the Ali Akbar Victim Fund is failing. Milo's trying to raise 25 grand and he's raised $240. That's crazy. That's no juice at all, dude. That's absolute zero juice. To put up a fundraiser for 25 grand and you can't even raise $300, dude. That's crazy, honestly.
Okay, horrible thing to see. So you have to understand them. Of course, there's a genetic factor. I'm not denying that. I'll tell you something.
That's like,
else I learned.
delete that fundraiser quick before people see. You got to delete that fundraiser because that's like time to hide that forever, dude.
Graduate school from one of my great professors. 1/3 is the
When
environment,
has it
which you
started?
can totally control. And then there's another third, boys and girls, that you don't know about, which is the unknown. And I had my professor
2 days ago,
when I was gung-ho on nutrition saving the world. And the doctor said to me, Michael, he said, look, I've done autopsies and I've seen people dead of heart disease
That's
in their
crazy.
30s, and their arteries were 100% clear and they were dead of a heart attack. I said, great, thank you very much for that one.
Shave head bar has more? Yeah, that's crazy. More people want to see me shave my head than support a gay rape victim. Says a lot about society. Honestly, everything seems about right with that. I'd much rather see a straight guy shave his head for fun than like give a gay guy money who got raped.
So, that's where the other element comes in that I want to tell you about, that I
banned the rabbi in chat.
Which is God,
dude.
faith,
This rabbi
reason, and
pissing
prayer.
me off, bro.
But that I've done.
If I wasn't,
my God talks.
I would
Moses
be
talks.
okay. If I wasn't something, I would be it after seeing all rabbis'
Now,
chats.
Remember that whole harmony of prayer. Notice what I did with the harmony of prayer. Look, harmony of prayer, heart, mind, body, cosmos, heart, mind, body, cosmos, connecting to the universe. Very.
Who even is the guy? He's just some gay guy who had gay sex for months. He was raped once, and so he got raped once, and he can never poop again. But he definitely didn't live on a gay relationship and get a gay abused for months. And just a random homo who wanted a job. Sound familiar? Just a random homo who wanted a job. Sound familiar?
In health, it's talk about health. Not only from my research and my writings, but from my own personal experiences. But remember,
It's Geralt.
please
Geralt
remember,
got gay raped by Ali Akbar. All right, I'll red pill you. Geralt got gay raped by Ali Akbar, and he can't poop anymore. Now he has to have a bag coming out of the side of his stomach where all the food goes. He's a gay rape victim.
in order to draw any rational conclusion for a population at large. So whether say you had an uncle who lived to 95 and he smoked cigarettes and he drank and he ate beef jerky every day.
Very
He's a
relatable.
nutritional rogue. That's
We've all accidentally,
Donald Trump is a nutritional
we've all
rogue.
accidentally in the process of trying to get a job had gay sex with somebody, right? I think we can all relate to the process of being a straight guy who thinks you're getting a job, so you have gay sex with somebody for once until you can't poop anymore. And then realizing that you're actually being used and abused and raped.
But you can't follow that.
We've all done
diet
that.
and expect not to get sick. Okay. So before
Whoops.
I go, I
Innocent
I
mistake.
should tell you that one of the things I have done for over 40 years religiously, let's see, is the vitamins I take. Everybody wants to know, what vitamins do you really take? Well, I do take. I take
Vitamin
mega
C.
doses of vitamins. I have mega dose.
Are you a nutritional rogue?
Ascorbic acid powder for 45 years, maybe more. At least 40 years. I don't remember.
That's what I've been taking too.
Since the 70s.
Didn't help me
I've been
not get
taking
sick though at the
mega doses of
gym.
vitamin
Kind of
C, but
disappointed me.
what I must tell you about vitamin C is that vitamin C is not all active. Much of the pills you buy are chalk. They're garbage. There's no activity at all. You're wasting your money. I happen to use vitamin C powder. I'm not going to show you a brand. I'm not here to advertise anything. And I have taken a couple of grams a day for 40 years, and I find it to be remarkable in its effects. So I take mega doses of vitamin C. I also take a high amount of very high quality vitamin E every day. Again, I want to quote a study. The Shute brothers, S-H-U-T-E, look them up. They were two brothers in the early 1950s who found a relationship between vitamin E and the prevention of heart disease. And then, of course, Big Pharma came along and tried to say that vitamin E is not only not good for you, it's bad for you. They did the same thing with vitamin C. They did it with vitamin E. They're liars. It's all disinformation. It's like a Soviet campaign to make sure that you run for, that you get sick and that you go to a pill pusher and that you buy a drug. It's that simple. I've taken other vitamins. I take a multivitamin. I'm not going to tell you the brand. I take some other vitamins as well. And I've been fairly lucky in my health outcomes. Not entirely lucky. I say I'm very lucky because I got to
Sodium
79
ascorbate
before I
is man's gatekeeping vitamins.
I wouldn't say minor.
I'm not going to tell you where, but it's good.
It's the only disease
I'll tell
I
you
ever
this.
had that
It's
landed
great
me in a
stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though.
And when I was 79, but remember, my dad died in his 50s, my grandfather in his 40s, and I used to say, well, okay, but maybe in the old country, great-grandfather lived to 100, and then it took me years to find out that, no, he lived into his 30s. So I have the world's worst inheritance with regard to heart disease, and that is why I was always running scared and studying health. I was asked today on that radio show, what got you into the health world? I said, how about fearing dying
Scale of 1 to 10?
at an early age?
3, because I had to stop. I had to stop because my wrist was hurting. Because I didn't have a wrap on.
You know what I'm saying?
I was punching it wrong.
So I've always looked. I mean,
So as a result, I had to
far and
stop.
wide for the
So it ruined my
answers.
workout.
I went far and
So it was like a
wide for
3.
the
I feel
answers,
shame.
and went very
But I'll go
far
back
and
tomorrow.
very wide for the answers.
Give it my all with my
including
wrap.
all the way into the tropics. Let's see. I'll get you a nice picture of the tropics. There's Mrs. Whippy. She taught me some of her healing English sea captain father, Fijian mother. Look at those hands. That's one of my
This is the
favorite
first time in my life I
photographs.
felt shame.
The healing hands of Mrs. Whippy.
Hurting my wrist.
It was a rational society.
First time in my
that
life
would have
I've ever
won a
felt
Nobel
shame.
Prize, and the photograph would have, but you know, I'm not the right political side of the coin. And there we go.
Kind of
There's a
crazy.
healer I studied with. I remember the day, and she died the next day. That was an interesting story. She came from one of the outer islands. I forget her name.
Well, luckily I did a
So,
workout. I did like,
because the women all knew I was in the
everything
villages
that
to
didn't
study
involve my
the
wrist I could do.
plants, and they
I
would
did like
go through the grapevine, and people would come from around the villages and
bunch of
give
other
me the
stuff.
healing power. Rite Blue.
limp wrist town.
Divulging her remedies one day before her death, Vanuatu, 1971. I got chills up my spine. I remember she came and she told me all of her remedies. And then I heard afterwards she died the next day.
He killed her.
There was my good friend, Domenico Corvembo, teaching me about a poisonous plant.
That's cool.
Remember that one?
I like this guy.
Sinuganga, Excoacaria agalotia.
Would you box Aaron Imholtz? No, that guy.
Causes blindness.
That guy has his own deal. I have nothing to do with that.
Over an open fire is an effective remedy against stonefish poisoning. I mean, things like that. See, if you live in the islands for 10,000 years and you learn to make your medicines from the plants, from the sea creatures, from the minerals, you learn how they work, you know, through trial and error. So they do know an awful lot about natural healing. I remember I met King Tupou IV of Tonga. This man was an amazing man. He was fascinated by herbal medicine in his own islands, and he heard that there was a young ethnobotanist in Tonga.
Young ethno-nationalist.
And he wanted to meet me. It was an incredible meeting. He was a remarkable man. He weighed like 350, and he was a surfer, incidentally. Interesting. And
Yeah, I'll
we
box
heard
Jake
about
Paul. Easy, dude.
Kava. And here's the Yangona ceremony in the village of Where is this? Here we go.
We're just in the old
Pardon
man
me for
stage of his life.
Best I can do. Kava Kava in a village.
Yeah,
Those
Kava
were great
Kava.
days. They were wonderful people. And that was the Angona ceremony on Gamea Island, by the way. And God, there was so many.
He just wanted to meet a man named Wiener.
Back and
All these guys just wanted to meet a man who's the last
these
name Wiener.
plants, these hundreds
No
of
way.
plants that I
Gaijin with the name Wiener? Yes, I'll meet
were
him.
collected in 7 different sets. That's what you call botanical specimens. You make 7. Let's say this is a healing plant.
That's a piece of paper.
Lau taught me how to use this plant to treat a scabby infection. So you collect 7 different herbarium specimens of the same exact plant, put them in 7 different.
Why did he wink at me?
Let's say special things, bring them back to the kiln and dry them. And then you put labels on them, what you collected, what the woman said they're for, what the Latin name is, and all of that if you can find it. And you send them out to the museums, and they go out to 7 museums in the world. So my basic collections are in 7 museums of the world.
This is boring. Maybe to you, Geralt.
By philo or by family.
Send a video if you want me to watch a video, dude. Or send a comment.
There's
to
one
me.
collection in
Not in the chat,
Gardens
though.
in England, which I can't
With
visit
money.
because of politics. If you can believe that. They let people in who cut other people's throats, but I can't go visit my plants in Kew Gardens. And the other collection is in Berkeley at the University of California in the Jepson Herbarium. Thank goodness it wound up in a safe haven here in the state of California where it belonged. And here is a little writer, Gift of New Ethnobotany Collection to UC Jeps was written up. This is one of my specimens. That's what it looked like, by the way, with my original label right there. Interesting. And in the fall of 2022, the Herbaria received a special donation of 149 plant specimens from Fiji. The specimens were collected from 1971 through 1973 by Dr. Michael Weiner during his PhD research on nutritional ethnomedicine, blah, 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 worked for gene healers, etc. Weiner holds master's degrees from the University of Hawaii.
Thank you, Baby Nugget. I appreciate it. I look healthy, don't I?
Berkeley and Health and
I look
Medical
healthy,
Science.
don't I? Don't I look healthy?
Okay, so with a generous gift to the Herbaria Futures Endowment Fund and additional
I look like a healthy alpha male.
student, blah, blah, blah. The specimens are now being mounted, databased, and imaged. It is our pleasure to now be the stewards of this collection. I want to thank everyone there for this remarkable acceptance of my collection, if I've not done so before, and I don't know how many of you are listening to this. And then
We're listening.
there are other things.
How many people are watching?
At another time.
500,000 viewers.
But these collections are also in Germany, in Berlin, in Moscow, in the Moscow Herbarium. If I can recollect, I don't remember where else they may be. I have New York Botanical Garden, Chicago Field Museum, and the others that I had mentioned. So they're good. They're there.
It's Gucci hat, yeah.
And here I am. I'm here with you. And because RFK Jr. came along and woke America up to the poisons in our foods.
We've woken up.
Farmers' lies to America.
We're waking
which we
up.
knew during COVID. I mean, look.
Yo, Jimbo's
to Fauci.
Jimbo's just
when Trump was president.
Thank you.
I was begging
on Kick.
Thank you very much.
Fauci over and over again. I had his ear.
What's up? Jimbo raid, Jughead raid.
I said, get rid of the people running the NIH. Get rid of the people doing it. It was too big a job.
Host.
You know, no one can come along and save the world.
Big host. Thank you very much.
So that's the
Should we start
story.
migrating over to
It
Kick?
wasn't that Trump didn't do the right thing. He couldn't do.
Should I start
everything
encouraging
at
people to go to
once.
Kick? Ban
And he
them?
was blocked every step.
All right, I'm
of
going
the
to choose
way.
one person and ban them from
He should have
from
fired
Cozy.
Fauci, and we all know that. I said it.
One person is about to be banned from Cozy. Who's it going to be? Nah, I feel too bad. I can't do this. I can't hurt people. I can't do it. I can't ban Cozy viewers. I love you guys too much. Sorry, I couldn't do it. See, I don't have that killer instinct like Jimbo does. Jimbo has that killer instinct, dude. I can't do it. I refuse. I'm not banning anybody. I refuse.
2016.
I love you guys too much.
17, 18, 19, 20.
Ban Michael? Ooh, that's a good idea. We all ban Michael.
And it fell on deaf ears. So again, I'll close where I began and tell you
Soft.
the good news, which is that because RFK Jr.'s address to the nation on Big Pharma and Big
Well,
Ag-
Geralt has a kick. All right, Geralt's being banned to the Shadow Realms. Ban user Geralt. Geralt has been banned to Kick. That's the number one. First by fatality. First, Cozy is our little Jewish ghetto. Now you're banned too, Swamp Cinema. Banned. Goodbye, Sar. Jovian, you're banned too. The first one's always the hardest, but once you do the first one, you're like, okay, now this is fun. I could never ban somebody, but then you do it once and you're like, it changes you forever. It changes you forever.
Awaken the nation. And I was then excited.
But you can, if you get banned from Cozy Chat, you can unban yourself by sending $50. $50 to stay alive in Cozy.
Into the old library and pull out Healing Children Naturally, which was originally published.
If you got banned and you want to chat, go to kick.com/realpaultown. Kick.com/realpaultown. Join the chat, join the live chat. Let's get over to Kick. All right, let's save Nick some bandwidth. Let's get over to Kick, all right?
Interesting story how this book came to be. This edition
$5 Cozy Chat Pass for the day. Now $50 permanent, but I'll ban you again later.
2007 by my own publishing company. It was originally published for the art of feeding children well.
I've never been banned from a Cozy Chat. Well, you are now, dude. Banned. You're banned permanently. Faceless Bounty Hunter, you've been banned. You are relegated to the Kick realm.
Relationship with that New York publisher. The book was
Bad Woodson episode, and Bro's preparing for the 404.
He's dead by now.
One banning is a tragedy. 100 bannings, that's just a statistic. That's just a statistic. Ugh, I can't speak, dude. I can't. I need to learn how to talk. This is like holding you back. Maybe I'm a little hard on myself, but not being able to speak certain words, not being able to talk, not being able to enunciate for whatever reason, like, it's destroyed my ability to talk.
I want to go into it.
I can't pronounce the words, dude.
It was. Try to steal a book from me. That was a long time ago. The thing.
I'm like an idiot. I sound like an idiot.
To be where I am today. And so, my friends, here
what's up, your mom? How you doing?
It's been a long, long path to this day.
Paul Town, Dad Pit, you're banned. I banned you from Cozy. Now you're relegated to Kick. Ripper Warrior, you're banned too. We're telling people to ban people. I'm having the same issues lately. Well, it's just like the way my teeth are close together. I never had to get braces, but my teeth are very straight. But there's not enough space for to get the air in, and my tongue is like. Blah, 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 blah. I have I don't know. Maybe I have a tongue tie or something. I don't know. It's all right though. It's okay.
I always felt that the books would be.
Your articulation is off. Did you have code for ban Rabbi? Rabbi's the only one allowed. Thank you, Slay. I appreciate it.
Legacy, and now it's not only the books. It's also the plants, which, because I document.
Can I have the power to ban people, please? No, you have the power to go to Kick because you're banned now.
Go and find that plant in the wild somewhere in the.
They told me not to worry about Paul Town. Well, they were wrong. Banned. And
bring the plants back to a laboratory and try to extract.
Been here the whole time.
Some healing property or component, rather, from either the leaves.
Hit the follow button on Kick. If you're not following on Kick, you're a loser. Hit the follow button on Kick now.
And turn it into a medicine for the world. So that's the way it is. I've given.
Swamp Cinema reporting in. Yakubian 8.
Swan song here. I'm tired. I'll be honest with you. I'm really exhausted. It's the end of a long summer. I've not taken a vacation, really. I'm
not having brain fog. I just can't. I know what I'm saying. I know the words I'm supposed to say. It just it's too hard for my think. It's hard for me to get the air required to make the noise. It's over.
Where I don't enjoy going anywhere. It's all.
Did you get punched in the face?
At the end of the day.
Nice question.
I'd rather be in my own bed around my own books. I have much better control over my life when I have my books.
I survived the big wave. No, you did not.
Things I want to research.
You're gone. Banned. Big winner, man.
I can do it on a laptop. I get it.
I got punched in the face too many times.
I love coming on YouTube, which I could do on a laptop. I could take a vacation any day.
Read books out loud. Your articulation is off. Neurons misfiring. No, dude, I'm getting old. I'm getting old, okay? That's really what it is. I'm getting old, losing my motor control.
Take my laptop and broadcast from a
CTE's making me
mountaintop or
aggressive.
from a boat. I can do that, but you know, maybe I will.
You know what's making me aggressive though is boxing, unironically, because it's like I know how hard it is, and I know like how tired people get and how tired I get, and so I know I can escalate and people get winded. I know people don't understand when people are aggressive back. They don't understand. They don't understand physical force, what it means, and the pain and the how tiring it is. And so I know by their reaction that they're not. I could beat them up.
To go on vacation, by the way, after Labor Day when the crowds are gone. I'll go somewhere. I went to Florida, but I worked. I went to Florida.
Does your coach yell at you? It helps. Not really yelling, just like correction, like, oh, stand this way. Oh, that's not, you're standing like you're skateboarding. That's what he said yesterday. You're standing like you're skateboarding. And I thought he said stand like you're skateboarding, so I made my feet even closer together, like on the line. And he's like, no, the other way. I was like, oh. But no, he jokes around. He has a good sense of humor. Good sense of like mean humor. I like it. It's like a good sense of like guy, mean humor. It's like what Andrew Tate tries to do. Andrew Tate tries to do like the I'm mean person thing, but it's just gay and annoying. Whereas this guy, it's like more like slight meanness, funniness, where it's like, yeah, you get it together. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be there now. It's too hot. But I want to be there next month. It's hot there till October. It's okay. I want to be there.
I sound like Mike Tyson now, yeah.
And to see my family.
Show me this man's balls, please.
God willing. And, I'll do a show from Florida. Maybe we'll talk from Florida at some point in the future. And again, just to end, publishers want to reissue the book.
Banned.
If we don't come to good
banned
terms,
from chat.
I'm just going to have it reprinted and distributed so you can buy it directly.
Buggy's banned from chat.
Without my having to, put my hands on
Randy Marsh.
There are different
banned from
companies now
chat.
that could print. And they could print, publish, and distribute.
Kaiser Cell, banned from chat.
So it's ready to go. And if I
Army Negro, banned from chat.
But I think after Labor Day, we'll reissue the book. How soon it can be done, I don't really know.
Tasvita, banned from chat.
It'll be out for you to get, to help yourself. Again, women, you don't have to suffer with postpartum depression.
Banned
it's 100%
from chat.
Nutritional, incidentally. Do not take
Girl Puncher,
drugs.
banned from chat.
Maybe I should end on that note because so many women are getting suicidal.
White Builder, banned from chat.
Women are afraid to have babies now.
Big Payer, banned from chat.
Drugs. So let me conclude.
Among a Baby,
about
banned from chat.
Of the
Baby Nugget, of course not banned. Just kidding, banned from chat.
Factors in postpartum depression.
Archaeology Gripper, banned from
Diet
chat.
To improve fertility.
Check fan, banned from chat.
From relatives. Some pregnant women eat clay, dirt, ashes, etc. They were looking for
Martin. You're gone.
That's an interesting story.
Banned from chat.
That's food cravings.
Everyone get to kick.
And why women have them. And they were eating crazy things.
Bad day for cozy mooches.
So,
if you like.
Talk about
Michael banned from chat.
And I don't know if I can find this on postpartum depression.
Gets a kick if you want to be a man.
Was first 8 weeks of critical time.
Urahata, banned from chat.
Only nutrients cross placenta, not menus. Changes
Kick.com/RealPaulTown.
Pregnancy. Dramatic second trimester changes. Needs increase during last trimester.
Jimbo won. I remember Jimbo, when it came out, he said, this is going to be the site. I didn't believe him, but he was right.
Died only an estimate. Ethnic differences reinforced. I want to pause on that for a
Cozy,
minute. I was
destroyed. Jimbo vindicated.
Nutrition.
Jimbo vindicated.
I studied various diets based on ethnicity. One diet doesn't fit all. I can't go.
We go out into the nations. It's like diaspora Jews. It's like diaspora Irish. There's a few hangers on in Ireland, like Keith. But once you hang out, you start to like each other. You're like, oh yeah, hey. And that's what we're doing now. We're spreading out into other platforms. We're really starting to infect other platforms like Kick. And as a result, we'll infiltrate and we'll link together. And we'll really, instead of staying at home and being boring, we're going to start to infiltrate and we're going to start to take over.
In 60 years, in 60 minutes. So I can't find.
Where did you stream before Cozy? Nowhere, dude. I didn't. Nick gave me a streaming platform. Nick was like, "Hey, you want to stream?" I was like, "Yeah, dude. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I want to support you. I want to support your platform. I want to make money, and it is the best thing I've ever done. Causes problems, but also causes solutions. I wouldn't have as much money as I have. I wouldn't have had the adventures I have. Moved out. Gone on adventures, learned to box. Had a blackout stream. But no, it was a very, very good thing. Very, very fun. Very nice. But time has moved on.
Postpartum
Oh,
depression.
I guess I did the weekly sweat, but I wasn't streaming. That's just like talking. I don't think I ever got paid for weekly sweat ever. I don't think I ever was getting paid for that.
But I'm pretty sure I remember.
I didn't ask you to pay. That's not a
talking
problem.
about mother losing teeth. I think I'm getting to it now. Indian.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. I don't think so.
Fascism disavowed.
It doesn't matter to me though.
Fascism disavowed.
Woodstown pays better. Why did I leave weekly sweat? Woodstown pays better. Woodstown just a higher class of joint. You know, it's a higher class of stealing from audience.
See, I was into politics even then. Vegetarian women must have a B12 supplement.
El Patron got a young jit out of the mud. Much respect. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love Nick, dude. He helped me out. He was a good friend. Nick's always been a good friend. I love Nick.
Protein
Even though Cozy sucks.
Supplements not advised. Yeah, morning sickness treated with vitamin B6. That's a good one.
Dude, I made $500 last night not streaming. Somebody sent me $500. Today, though, I made $6. What's the deal with that?
I can't read the whole book to you right now.
$10.
believe
See,
guys
ask and you shall receive. Thank you, Big Buyer. I appreciate it. Let's get the donations up, all right? Let's not be freeloaders like the Cozy Worms. Let's not be freeloaders like the Cozy Freaks, okay?
There were some good studies.
We got to add more
Nursing,
stickers.
Cow's milk evolved.
Nick
for
was
rapid
offended
weight
when you
gain.
called him high scum. Yeah, that was the problem. I screwed up because I saved it. Nick, Keith tried to get me in trouble. But because scum sounds an ad, but that's what I said. True scum will be like, oh, that makes sense. After they get it, what did you call me? I should have said, oh, Donald Trump's ascendant scum. Donald Trump is like a scumbag, you know, he has like drama and stuff. But I said instead, I saved it, but I could have saved it a lot better. But I was sick, so I was out of it. If I was really thinking on my feet, I would have said, oh, Donald Trump's ascendant scumbag too.
And cow's milk is not good for the baby.
Too many clowns in the car.
Although there's fat and sugar in human milk, which is
Thank you,
good.
Big Buyer. I appreciate it.
Colostrum contains
TowerChat.live/Paultown. Pay now.
immune
Or die.
substances. You all know that by now, why nursing is the best. The value of human contact, very important. Soy milk formula is not good. Scurvy in children fed only on cow's milk, when not to breastfeed, and things like that. I really cannot put my finger
Beavis and
on
Butthead
this
comparison
postpartum depression.
dots. I thought they were not Irish. That was Nick's just being funny. Nick's just busting some balls. He's having some fun. If you think he's being serious, you are just a nerd, okay? Look, the reality of the situation is guys joke around. Guys joke around. This is like the difference between myself and other people. Is that this is a good test. This is a good 4D chess QAnon test. Are you like, do you think I'm upset? No, I'm not upset. It's called busting balls. It's called having fun, dude. It's called joking around, having fun. The weirdos are like, it's like they don't get people joke around and have fun, dude. That's the key. People are like retarded.
Real Paisan sent
Yo,
$4.
good
I
luck,
ordered
dude.
All of the supplements you mentioned
That'll
on
be fun.
Woodstown 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like
Wish me
locker room
luck.
talk. It's just fun, dude. It's just having fun. It's like messing around with people. That's how you know somebody likes you. Honestly, that's how you know if somebody likes you, is if they joke around like that. If they don't joke around like that, they don't make fun jokes or have fun, then they're not your friend. They're just like, you can't joke around about it. You're a loser, bro.
Depression. And it's so good. The book is comprehensive. It's a little
Nobody ever calls me Beavis and Butthead. He didn't even clarify. That's the thing that was really upsetting. He didn't even clarify. Beavis? Who's Beavis? Who's Butthead? Yeah, I didn't think about that one, huh? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, people are retarded. People are retarded. We're all laughing at you. We're all laughing at you. You're stupid. Actually, you're being made fun of. You're stupid. And you suck.
Wikipedia.
Dream Cake by Itzy. Traxy, you're gone. You're banned. Banned from... Maybe I'll leave Traxy. No, you're timed out. You're banned from Cozy Chat. You can only go to Kick.
So there you go, my friends.
Did you and Keith have topics? Did you not watch the show? Did you not watch the show? The show went directly as planned. Okay, the show What you don't understand is Nick, Keith, and I were in the call for 3 hours beforehand, planning out the exact show and how we'd react to it, and what we would say afterwards. You don't understand, okay? You're just not cool.
I'll just tell you one
Groiper,
story,
you're
and
banned.
I'm going to say thank you for listening. And that was a pregnant mother losing all of her teeth during pregnancy. It's an interesting story. Here it is. I remember this distinctly. An extreme example of the consequences of a
That's
savage
over.
saying, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Are we all lab rats? What is, Dave Smith? Has Dave Smith said anything about the drama? About the... Or no? If he's smart, he won't,